Welcome to another Facebook Live. This is going to be episode 67 of Wise Advice, and going to be a second here to get set up, get everything dialed in, going to get the computer fired up. We'll do this like we do it every other time. We'll go live on Facebook like we are. I'll record the episode. I'll walk through it. We'll spend a couple minutes before the episode talking about the beforehand, and then when the episode's all over, I'll come back to Facebook as the computer goes to sleep. Like I said, when the episode's all over, we'll come back to Facebook, answer any questions you have, and kind of wrap up the evening at that point. So I'm going to open the show today with comments and questions about David. How are you? You beat Jeff. Hey, Jeff, David beat you, man. So by like a millisecond. So you're still doing pretty good, both you guys. So proud of you. So tonight's topic, we're going to start off with what is a brand new person in a meeting room? What do you tell someone day one? So I'm going to open with that and got 3 or 4 emails, but give me a second to get the computer fired up. Robin, hello, how are you? Kirby's here, how are you, sir? Salute to you. Dude, great job on your PT test, man. And I know we talk a lot offline here, but dude, I'm super stoked. Diane, hello. Kirby, you got it done, man. So as you know, like we talked about, this is where the journey starts, right? You had a lot of work to do to get to where you are, and you got a lot of big monkey off your back. But if you use this as your starting point, you're going to kill it. So looking forward to seeing you do that. So let's see here. Who did I miss? I saw Katie, you're not walking yet. Prepping for a Father's Day fishing camping trip. Cool. That's excusable. Yeah. And Catherine there. Kirby. Let's see. Hi. All right. So we're going to, looks like I get the computer fired up over here. Get that done. Get that track muted. All right, looks like that's good to go. Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Kirby. It's a new chapter now, and plenty of time now at this point. If you start with this as your foundation, you're going to be in good shape. So, Katie, yeah, PT test for school teacher. You know what? My wife, as you guys know, my wife's a school teacher. She gets like 18 trillion steps before lunch. So, I think she's doing okay. School teachers, man, you get a lot of steps in with the little guys running around. So anyway, we're going to open the show with comments about day one, folks. What do you tell a day one person in the meeting room? So I'm going to go ahead and get that fired up, and we'll rock and roll. You guys ready? Dun, 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 dun. New headphones too. The headphones help because now I can truly hear what's actually going on into the microphone, whereas before I couldn't hear as well. So this is a huge advantage, and so I can get that stuff. So all right, let's get dial that back in. Woohoo! Mic check 1 2. Beautiful. Beautimous. Mic check 1 2. What do I always do first, right? I am your host, FatDag. You're listening to Wise Advice. My weight loss journey failed when I focused on how. It wasn't until I switched my focus to why that I truly transformed myself. Join the show on the web at FatDag.com. Follow along on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Wise Advice. Send in your comments, your questions, and your celebrations, and I'll include them as part of the show. But before we dive in, remember, When you're out of points, stop eating points. Hey, I'm honored to be your wingman as we walk through this journey together because I believe in you. Well, hello there. Welcome to episode 67 of Wise Advice. And man, I got some interesting stuff for you guys today. It truly is a complete honor to do this journey. And I got an interesting comment today. And someone asked me, they said, what do you tell someone who's on day one? Someone who walked into the meeting room and you're trying to give them the vision of what it is we're trying to accomplish. But generally, we don't know what that looks like. So how do you convince someone on day one that they can reach a goal when it's something they've never ever done, never ever seen? They don't have that vision in their head. So we're going to talk about that. I got a handful of emails, but I got some exciting news. This is episode 67 of Wise Advice. And just purely, as you know, I don't believe necessarily in coincidence, but I found a guy on Connect. You've probably seen his stuff out. He draws cartoons, and he's got he's got 20 years experience in the animation industry. He currently works for Dreamworks TV animation. His name is Fred Gonzales, and so if you're on Connect, it's actually Fred with a PH, so PHREDGONZ67. Coincidentally, this is episode 67, right? So PHREDGONZ67, and then he's on Instagram at FreddyBoy, PHREDIBOY. I'll put all this in the show notes so you can connect with him, but he draws cartoons. And they're absolutely beautiful. And so I reached out to him and said, hey, you know what? I don't have any artwork for the show. Would you be interested in doing some artwork? And, and we just kind of talked back and forth. And he said, sure, he would. So he's got a beautiful cartoon that I'll use as the show note here, or the show artwork. So when you look at the artwork, that's all drawn by him. And we're going to collaborate every once in a while. When I come up with a good theme for the show, he'll draw me some artwork and we'll kind of share it and go back and forth. So really excited to share that. But go follow him on Connect if you're not. Follow him on Instagram. Give him a shout out. Tell him thank you for being so generous and lending his talents in a way. And it's kind of cool for me to be able to do that because one of the things I recognized in my journey early on is that I was able to have some success because I got a handful of followers early on that believed in me. And and to the point where I didn't want to let the community down, so I kept working the plan. I kept faking it, like I said. We're going to talk about that in a second. I kept faking it until I made it. And so when I find people like Fred out there who's getting it done, a little boost in his into his stream is probably going to carry him to goal as well. So very, very cool, Freddie. Thank you for absolutely lending your talents. And guys, what do you think of the cartoon? Pretty cool, huh? Yeah, it's you'll see it when you get the artwork done. But Fred's done some great stuff. So what is it we tell someone who's on day one, right? Someone on day one, they can't see the journey. All you're doing is you're telling them to trust the plan, trust that it works. Well, you remember when you were on day one? For me, is about the worst day of my life. Right? Day one was at a point where all I could see was if I could lose 15 pounds, everything would be great. Well, in reality, I had 91 pounds to lose, but I couldn't even see that I was 91 pounds overweight. At best, I thought I was 30 to 40 pounds overweight. Right? There's no way I thought I would be in the 170s. It was just absolutely impossible until I made it. So when you look at someone who's on day one and you say, trust me, the plan works, follow the plan, track, do what you got to do, you got to let them know that this is not a quick fix. We're not trying to solve anything here. We're not trying to get to the point where we say, okay, we did it. What we're trying to do is completely change our lives. What we're trying to do is build healthy habits so that when we continue to build those healthy habits, we continue to just do that. Eventually, you step on the scale at some point and you say, I don't want to lose any more weight. And when you do that, that's when you look up at the number and you go, holy cow, I had no idea I could get here. So if you're starting out on day one and you're trying to focus on the destination and the end result, I'd ask you to caution you and say, just take a step back. Focus on today. Focus on maybe tomorrow and maybe the week ahead. Much more than that, and you can't really see where you're headed. And it's too early in your journey to look that far ahead. So go ahead and just and lock on to some folks who are doing what you're trying to do. See the vision, allow them to carry you forward, and just stick with it. If you stick with it long enough, you will get to goal. Quitting does not get you to goal. Quitting gets you a new start date. Every time I quit, I joined at a much higher weight. That's not the plan. That's not the plan we're on. So, I hope that makes sense for day one. So we're going to talk about a little more on that. But Keri writes in on the first. Keri says, "Hi Mike. In January 2016, I got on the scale. I was at the heaviest I'd ever been. At the end of January, after losing 4 pounds, I rejoined Weight Watchers for the fourth and last time. I was so focused and determined, going to meetings weekly, tracking the good, the bad, and the downright ugly, and at the end of December 2016, I'd lost 83 pounds. On March 4th, 2017, I hit lifetime. I've lost a total of 85 pounds. I really would love to lose another 15 pounds, though. The problem is, I feel like I've lost my way, my focus, my why. Don't get me wrong, I'm still tracking. I'm getting my exercise in daily, but it's been extremely difficult to stay on track. I think that when I was paying as a Weight Watcher, I was so focused on that number and to get there as soon as I could that I put blinders on so I would not stray from my end goal. And now that I've made it, I've allowed myself to remove those blinders. I've been struggling with the same 5 pounds since March. I feel like I have so many people watching me and waiting for me to fail. I just want to eat pizza and drink wine every day and not gain an ounce, LOL. So thank you for listening, and I can't wait to hear your wise advice, Keri. Well, Keri, one of the things I love in your email is that when you declare that you've joined for the very last time, that's significant, right? Because we do know, I said it in the opening, we know that if you join Weight Watchers or you join any sort of exercise plan, any sort of diet plan, they all work. If you stick with them, they all work. If you quit them, they almost always bring you back to either that one or another one, and you're going to continue to try something. It's the not quitting part that gets you. So when you said you joined for the fourth and last time, that's how you made it to goal. Now, let's talk about your goal. So down a total of 85 pounds, which is absolutely phenomenal work. That does not happen by accident. That happens because of intense discipline, extreme focus. You got it done. You're a little confused as to where your goal is. I see that in your email, and when you say you would like to lose another 15 pounds, that's when I say the reason you continue to struggle at this point, why you've lost your focus, maybe lost your why, as you said in your email, is because, and forgive me for going there, but you never hit goal. That's right, you hit a number on the scale that we thought was goal, that somebody told you was a goal, but it didn't align with what your thinking was. And so if you still feel the need to lose 15 pounds, you're not at your goal weight. You're at a complacency weight. You're at a very happy place in your life. You're down 85 pounds. That's phenomenal. But if we got 15 more to lose, let's do it. Let's continue to focus. Let's get focused on your why. Use that discipline. Use that determination you used to lose those 85 to just stay on the plan. And let's see if that 15 pounds is possible. It may not be possible. You just don't know because you've never been there. But it may be, again, because you don't know, you've never been there. So the fact that you've been struggling with the same 5 pounds this March, let's dial it in. Let's focus. The best way to win here, you got folks that are following you and watching you, and internally you're thinking that they're just waiting for you to fail. I understand that very well. That's something that I dealt with many times. I joined Weight Watchers 5 times. And it was 5 times over the course of, 12, 15 years, somewhere in that ballpark. So 4 other times I had 30, 40, 50-pound weight losses that were clearly noticeable to my friends and my family. At some point during this journey, I'm confident at least one person in my circle was thinking somewhere along the lines of, yeah, we'll see how long this lasts. That's a struggle I have to deal with. It's my issue, not theirs. But I can tell you, now that I'm where I'm at now and that I continue to persevere, I don't think they think that anymore. I think they know I'm serious. I've done things now with my weight loss and my fitness that I've never, ever done. So if they're following along at all, they see I'm a completely different person. They see that I'm completely serious. So that's how you convince them. There is a point in this journey where you absolutely, you got to get to the point where you've done something so extreme at the end that everyone just goes, wow, I get it now. Somewhere in the middle, that self-sabotage, and people don't necessarily believe you're truly committed, because they want to be part of the old you, and you just got to persevere. You've got to just keep going. So keep up the great work. But now, as far as wanting to eat pizza and drink wine every day, well, that's just not how the program works. Great idea, great plan. There's a whole other plan for that, and that got us to the point where just before we joined Weight Watchers. So you can certainly have your pizza. You can certainly have your wine. I don't think it's possible to do it every day. But hey, if you figure it out, we're all ears. Go ahead and let us know that. So thank you for your email. Congrats again on your 85 pounds. Let's get you to goal. Let's get you to step on the scale for the very last time in a weight loss mode, and let's see what that feels like. Write in, let me know how it feels. Ellen writes in, she says, I had a goal weight set by my doctor over 5 years ago, and I met it. But since I've gained it all back, plus some. Fast forward to today, I am back on track, closing in on my goal, and I've been fighting with a 0.2 and then up for 0.2 for about 3 weeks. I'm frustrated because I'm walking every night. I'm tracking, I'm following the program, and I cannot get to goal. Part 2 of this journey, I am not sure I want this goal now because I believe I can lose more and get down further with about 10 more pounds. I'm confused and frustrated because I don't know which goal weight is best for me. Ellen then writes into a subsequent email, and she says, well, I got an update for you. I got a pound below after 3 weeks of struggling. I think I can do the 13.6 pounds I need to eliminate and get on the Weight Watcher chart for my height. That would be 155 pounds. Hard to say that, but I'm beginning to believe that I can, and oh yes, I will. My why? Because I'm a winner. I can finally, after a lifetime of struggling, know inside that I am worthy. I always felt that I wasn't the girl who had it in her, but why the hell not? So at 68, I'm finally going to get to goal and stay there. Thanks for your inspiration, and to my meeting buddies too, Ellen. Ellen, this is the exact same thing we talked about with Keri. Is when we allow someone else to tell us what our goal weight is, whether that be a chart, whether that be a BMI chart, whether that be, a doctor who says this is a goal weight. Generally when those people throw out numbers, they're just numbers. A number is not a feeling. A feeling of goal is so much different than a single number. If you follow along on FatDag.com and you look at my weight entries, you'll see that I've been at goal since September, and the numbers are all over the charts. But I've always continued to say I'm at a goal weight, because every morning I wake up and I love exactly how I feel. That's where we want to get you to. So the way you get there is you will know. You will know at some point you step on the scale and you're done losing weight. You'll know that. You will feel it. And at that point you declare a goal. But what you have to do is you've got to stay on the plan. You've got to stay committed to the program, because what you've got to do is build healthy habits. You have to completely change your life and your lifestyle so that you're not doing anything, you're just living a healthy life. At that point, your body takes care of you and says, this is the size we're going to be. So when you say you're struggling and and I believe you're walking every night, you're tracking every night, you're following the program. When I have people who ask me those things, a couple of things that come to mind real quick is, let's look at your tracker. Let's look and see what's in there, because not all foods are equal. Even though they could be the same point level, they could absolutely have different values and different nutritional abilities. So that's when you start, in your scenario, you want to dig a little deeper and figure out what it means when you eat this and what happens when you eat this versus that. I know there's some things that I eat that I've been calling 14 points forever because I have no idea how many points they are. So I call it 14 points and I move on, but there's a reality. It could be 17 points, 18 points, 20. I don't know what it is. So the weeks that I have that, and I have that maybe more than once in the week, those are weeks that my scale don't reward me the same way. So, but I know that about my journey because I've been tracking for so long. I know that I don't really truly know the number, but I track it as 14 because I just don't know what it is. So if you're tracking honestly and you're getting to the point where you're not getting results, look and see if you're getting an accurate number for the things you're tracking. Sometimes we're guessing on some of these numbers, and if you're guessing off by 5 to 6 points in a course of a day, you could be absolutely in a maintenance mode, not a weight loss mode. So the absolute best part of my journey, right? So here's the part that I love sharing more than anything. I went from 263 pounds down to 200, then I went from 200 down to 172. The absolute best part of my journey was not from 263 to even 190. That's a 70-pound weight loss. That was not the best part of my journey. Now, I thought it was when I was doing it. When I was losing that weight, I could not believe how good I felt. I could not believe that I was getting this done. 70 pounds is a big deal. But I tell you, the absolute best part of my journey was the last 10 or 15 pounds. And the reason that is because that was the part of my journey that was so unknown. That was the part of my journey that I'd never been on before. That was the part of my journey that I just had to stay true to the plan. That I worked it and I got healthy during that part of the journey. And I hit goal. I hit goal because I said, you know what? I looked at my leader, I looked at my wife, I looked at my family, said, I don't think I want to lose any more weight. I think I'm good. And everyone continued to agree with me. And so that's the best part of my journey. And Ellen, that's where I want you to get. I want you to get to this unknown part of the journey that when you get there, it's crazy magical. It's crazy fun, and it's that unknown piece, and it takes a little bit of faith and leap to get in there. You have the ability to get it done. Go get it done. Kristin writes in, says, "Hi, Mike. I remember liking your very first post on Connect, and I'm proud of everything that you've accomplished. I'm halfway through episode 55, and I thought of a new phrase, fake it until you make it. Well, how about habit till you have it? Practice healthy habits until you have a healthy lifestyle. Thanks for your post, your podcast, and your belief in us, Kristin." Well, Kristin, thank you for believing in me since day one. I'm absolutely confident that your belief in me on day one, combined with a handful of others who on day one reached out and gave me incredible support, that belief is what carried me to goal, because I did exactly what you said. I had to fake it until I made it. Now, I'm going to go one step further. I didn't necessarily fake it till I made it. I faked it for so long that I forgot what my old habits were. So I faked it for so long, just trying to hang on and eliminating some portions out of my diet and trying to just continue to work the plan, that at some point I forgot what it was like to not eat, to eat that stuff. And I just slowly started eating healthy. So fake it till you make it, but really fake it until you forget what you used to do. And the new stuff is just new. So very, very cool there. Marianne at Colonial Heights, Virginia writes in and says, "I'm so thankful Weight Watcher brought you into my line of vision. Hi, Mike. We've spoken on Connect in comments, and although we've never met, I feel like I'm a part of your family. I remember your weight loss journey from the beginning. I joined in February 2016, and you in March, I believe. I was drawn to you. Your honesty and your ability to lead others showed right away. My son is in the military, and your love of country was exhilarating. I am right now listening to your God Stories interview number 124, and I was so compelled to write and thank you. I spent many years abusing my body. I don't know why, but I decided that 2016 was going to be the year of Marianne. 15 months in now, I also work for Weight Watchers, and I'm currently down 92.6 pounds. My goal weight is still a ways off, but I will get there when I'm supposed to. I'm a receptionist and maybe someday be brave enough to be a Weight Watchers leader. My leader has predicted that I will be. I am still walking my weight loss journey, so I feel like I should reach a lifetime and be a receptionist for a little while before I take on the role of a leader. I feel I can help others who are just starting out and feel like this job is not really a job, it's a calling. I listen to your podcast mostly in the car.
When I started listening, I thought I was starting at the beginning and would work up through the most current. But now I just let it start on random ones. I figured I'd be listening to whatever it is I'm supposed to hear. I like you don't believe in coincidences, so I am convinced that God's plan was for us to cross paths. Your wise advice is so crystal clear to me, and always I truly appreciate you. I hope someday we can meet in person. Again, thank you so much for all you do. Thank you to your family for sharing you with us. I will sign off like I do in all my Connect posts. To lifetime and beyond. Peace out, and lots of love from my little pea-picking heart. Well, Marianne, very cool. Again, just like I said earlier, thank you for believing me since day one. The fact that you've been with me since day one is what brings us to here today. If you didn't reach out on day one, who knows where I would be today? Because your day one support is what got me to today, which is why I continue to turn around and want to give support back, because I want you to join me at goal. 92.6 pounds is incredible work. You have done amazing work. Thank you for just persevering and getting it done. You're doing it. I'm proud of you. Now, thank you for being a receptionist. As a Weight Watcher leader currently, I can tell you, I got some fantastic leaders and receptionists, and without them, that meeting room would be absolute chaos. So the receptionist is the glue that holds that thing together. So my hat is completely off to you for that, for being great. You are absolutely right. Being a leader is, for me, it's not a job. It is a calling. It's a way for me to give back. It's a way for me to reach more people. It's a way for me to bring people to goal with me. There's no fun being at goal if you got to do it by yourself. What's fun is when you look at other people who are experiencing exactly what you experienced and you can relate to them. I had someone today call in and leave me a voicemail, and she talks about going into Dress Barn to buy clothes for the first time since she hit her goal weight. She walked into Dress Barn, and the store said we carry sizes 4 to 24. She tried on a pair of 4s and they were too big. That's exciting, and she shared that with me, and there's only a handful of people on this planet who understand what that means. That's why I want you to be here with me, because when we get to this goal weight, it's more fun to share these stories together. So keep that up. I appreciate the fact that you listen in the car. That's how a lot of us listen. If you have the mobile app, I hope that's working for you. Put it on car mode so you can kind of fast forward, rewind what you need to do. But keep up the great work. Now, as far as you switching over to be a leader, whether when you make goal or not, that's a personal call that you have to make. Certainly the program allows you to switch over to be a leader at any point once you've maintained your 10% weight loss for a little while. I'm of the mindset as well that I wanted to make sure that I was free to give 100% of myself back to my members. I wanted to make sure that I had hit my goal and that I was done trying to lose weight, so that I had 100% of my energy to devote to those who needed my help. So that's the mindset I'm at, but it's certainly not how it's done. There are some amazing leaders who are still walking their journey. And those folks walk their journey with their members. It keeps it so real. So there is no right answer. So keep up the great work. I'm honored to chat with you. And I agree, let's meet up sometime. There are a couple of opportunities around the country where a lot of us get together. I'm going to try and start attending some of them. I'll keep them on my Facebook page, FatDag.com, under the events tab. So, kind of keep an eye out for that and see what you're doing. Before we close the show, I want to let you know this show only happens when you guys write in and tell me your stories, your celebrations. Without you, there is no show. So I'm asking right now specifically is shoot me an email. Let me know what you're celebrating. In particular, who I want to hear from, who I don't hear enough of. Are you at Lifetime? Have you been at Lifetime for a while? Have you been living at Lifetime for years and years? I want to hear from you. Go to FatDag.com, click on Listen Now, send in that email. I want to hear. I want to read that story on the air. I want other people who don't understand what the end of this journey looks like to hear it from you. I want them to feel it. So, what else are you celebrating? Let's share it. Go to FatDag.com, click on Listen Now. Send in other celebrations. Send in your comments, your questions. I'll work them in as part of the show. And I want you to email in those celebrations, because when you do, it just tells me how proud of you are, and you need to be proud of yourself. Well, that's going to do it for this time. Remember, losing weight and getting healthy has nothing to do with luck. You have to remain disciplined and focused. Set your sights on your goal and go after it. I wish you good focus. Kirby, you still there? Kirby and I had a little thing earlier. We were chatting, and he asked me what my favorite episode was, and I told him my favorite episode was 67, and I hadn't recorded it yet. So I'm hoping, Kirby, that I lived up to those expectations. All right. So I am going to scroll all the way back to the top. Cool. Thanks, Kirby. I'm going to scroll all the way back up to the top of the comments, and then I'll kind of catch back up to where we are here. So hang on as I scroll through. Dun, 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 dun. Hopefully you guys had a lot to say during that episode. That's fun stuff. I think I got Michelle. Hi, Michelle. Hi, Susan. Susan there. Susan said, Yahoo, it's showtime. Of course, Mom's here. Mom always checks in. Let's see. Yeah, Kirby, that cable was for, right? That's, dude, is this microphone thing not cool or what? I'm super stoked with that. So that's the headphone jack. It comes out of there. So I can just kind of push it right out of the way. So Sammy says lots of static. I hope that's not the case. Netta? Is that how you pronounce it? Netta says they're hearing it just fine. Nancy, you're welcome for the time doing this. As you heard, it's an honor to do it. And so Sammy, yeah. So as you know, when we do the Facebook Live, that I'm using two separate microphones. I have a microphone that's plugged into my iPhone. You're not hearing this microphone through the Facebook Live. So the actual podcast should be much clearer. So hopefully that answers that. So we got that squared away. So Kaylin says day one was full of hope and optimism, and you congratulate others and always tell them to try and keep that excitement going to build those healthy habits. That's exactly it. Day one is a combination of both, right? I've seen both sides of it on day one, folks. I see some day one people who come in on fire, energized, ready to get it done, and I see some day one folks who just they're done. I don't know how to describe it. They're at their wit's end, and you can see the pain. And I know those folks are going to do well if they do. So, Margaret says hi. Jacqueline says hi. Diane, yeah, so that's exactly it, Diane. You don't have to believe in yourself on day one. The rest of us believe in you. And so that's what carries you to goal. So, Denise says, hey, hi. Crystal, you're very welcome for the magnets. Very cool. I'm glad you like them. I'm glad you got them. Glenda says hi. Linda says hi. Thanks for your commitment. Honored to do it. So Crystal says 39-minute run. Woohoo! That's awesome. That's a long run. Denise, yeah, you will absolutely know your goal weight. That's the thing that you just know. Is when you get to goal, you just know. Yeah, so you wake up, seriously, I fluctuate. I don't even know. I don't, it's funny. Here's what's funny. I hop on the scale and I don't even look at the number. It auto-posts to Twitter and Facebook and my website, and I don't generally even look at it. I just hop on and go, okay, I feel good. I'm moving on. Within reason. I keep an eye on it, but I'd have to look and see what today's weight was. I think it was 185 something. I'm not that focused on the number, so. Yeah, Denise, I like this new setup. It just gives me a lot more freedom. The old microphone is still here. This is the old one that I was using. It's still a good microphone. I like this new one better. It's a much better microphone. You'll hear it when I get the audio done. Denise says, why is to be healthy so you can help others and be a better version of me. That's exactly what my intent was. Well, let me back up. That's what my intent was once I made goal. While I was making goal, I didn't really have that on my brain as much, to be honest with you. But once I made goal, it was absolutely important for me to want to give back. So Heidi's here. Whoop, whoop. Hey. David's here. David said, I knew David was here. David said, hi, Heidi. Yeah, I'm glad you caught some of this as well. So, and then Denise says, celebrating 42 pounds down since December 28th, 2016. Yay! Denise, yay! I'm proud of you there. That's hard work. 42 pounds is real, right? You don't lose 42 pounds on accident. So, Denise, great work. Proud of you. Yeah, Carolyn, so 3 pounds up and down the last pound. So think about this, Carolyn. When you joined, the first, and I don't know about you and your specific journey, but generally when we join, we're on fire, right? We get really super motivated and we attack it. We go all in and we get it done for a couple weeks. Use that same level of focus, energy, concentration now. I see this all the time in my meeting room. People are really good about attending the meeting for 3 to 4 weeks in a row. And the first 3 or 4 weeks, nothing will stop them from missing the meeting, right? They make it to the meeting in the first 3 or 4 weeks no matter what. And they track really well no matter what. And so if someone invites them to dinner, they say, no, I'm not going to dinner because I want to, I'm following the plan. Somewhere around week 4 and week 5, suddenly dinner invites like, yeah, I can make that. Or, yeah, I know I have a Weight Watcher meeting tonight, but yeah, I'll go next week. Because this, an engagement comes up. So probably the same thing's going on is when you get closer to goal, you don't have that same level of intensity that you did at day one. I'm pretty sure, Carolyn, if you took that intensity and you moved it over back to exactly how you had it for day one, your last 3 pounds are gone. Positive of that. So, yeah, Kirby, I think 54 is definitely my favorite episode as well. You'd mentioned 23 when we were chatting earlier. I'm going to go back and listen to 23 again. I haven't heard that one in a while. I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of weird. I listen to them in my car as well because I listen for different things. I listen for the audio aspect to see what the audio sounds like and see how many times I say and then the other thing I say is so. I say that a lot. You guys pick up on that? So. I'm trying to break that dirty habit. So, see it? There it is. See? It happens automatically. Julie, I don't know why. It says, I can see a lot of comments. Facebook Live is kind of weird. It's not real good at providing the comments back, but they'll all show up once I close the live feed, that's for sure. Catherine, I'm glad you caught it live too. And when you catch it live, I can actually read your name and you can hear it. So, Catherine, thank you for being here live. Susan, no, totally not a rock star. You're 120 pounds-ish down so far. Keep on keeping on. So, if you're still here, Susan, I want to know what the coolest thing that you've noticed about your life that's different being 120 pounds down. And I also want you to email me that because I'd love to share that story. That would be really fun. So go to my website and email that. But real quick while we're chatting here, tell me one thing that is completely different between you and 120 pound more of you. David, clear to run again. Dude, so happy for you. Man, lifetime and being able to run, it's a whole new world, brother. Congratulations on that. So Denise says hi again to Pam. Carolyn, you're welcome. Crystal laughing. Oh, so I thought you said it was Kirby. I thought it was you that said 23. I'm going to go back and check that, but cool. Yeah. That's someone told me today in an email that I'm going to be on a future episode. I got a couple, it's funny, I got a couple emails today that weren't exactly nice. I don't know how to word it. They tried to be nice, right? So, and I'll work them in, and you'll recognize them when they show up. The people, I think they meant well, but one of them was, I forget how it was worded, but in essence, it was something to the effect of people need to be able to do this without listening to you, because if they rely on you too much, then if something happens to you and you quit doing the show, then they won't make it to goal or something. So I need to tell them that they need to do it without me or something. I'll read the email when it comes along. And so honestly, I appreciated the email because the way it was actually, I'm beating it up pretty hard and I apologize. The way it was worded, I completely understood what that person was saying. But because you're right, this is just a tool. And so we do need to provide a way for someone to make goal without, if one of your tools disappears, I get all that. But it just caught me off guard today when I read it. I was like, oh, okay. But I'll work it into the show because it's real. It's how it is. So Jana, hi, Jana. How are you? So Susan says, less aches, decreasing needs for medication, and I have a lap for your grandkids to sit on now. That's the coolest thing ever. Man, seriously, that gives me kind of chills and goosebumps at the moment to think about that. When your grandkids climb up in your lap, you can hold them. So very, very cool. So Susan, I'm proud of you. I really am. Keep up the great work. Very cool. Yeah, and so Kirby, I guess that was it, Kirby, because that was kind of my response too. I'm like, no, I say that I think I say that all the time. I do think I tell people that, because people say, oh, thank you. And I'm like, I didn't do anything. All I did was just provide you some words and you acted on it. So very cool. Oh, and that was the other thing. The other thing someone said to me is that I'm doing too many shows because people can't keep up. And so therefore, I should do less of them so that people have time to listen and digest it. So I said, okay, great. Jana, a 0.6 pound gain and totally bummed you out. So don't let that bum you out, right? I understand why it does. Truly, I do, because I've had gains on the scale and I get it. But what we know is if you're tracking and you're focused and you continue to work the plan, that goes away. A 0.6 pound gain, it could very easily be, the glass of water you had for lunch. Really, So let's not focus there. Let's focus on tracking. Let's focus on getting the blue dots. Keeping up with that, and so you're going to be all right. As long as you don't, Jen, as long as you stick with it, you're going to be completely fine. So, Kirby, I'm with you. One of your whys is to make sure you can be with grandkids. I have a 15-year-old daughter, so I'm not ready for grandkids, but I will be, right? So very, very cool. Yeah, Denise, I think it's, and so the other thing too is I do these, a lot of them is for me as well. And again, I'm sorry, I'm beating both those emails up because I truly did appreciate both of them. They both had some very, very valid points. And when you hear them in the show, you'll understand it. I'm trying to paraphrase off of what I read today, many hours ago, and I remember reading them and going, what the heck? And then also reading them and going, okay, I understand it. And so I didn't exactly fully give you the full story, but so when you see the full story, it'll make a lot more sense, I promise you. But very cool. So the whole family's here. So my brother's here, my mom's here. It's like a party, I guess. So, hi. So Kirby, in order to have grandkids, you've got to have kids. That's kind of how it works. So one of the things, Kirby, about having kids is that it's hereditary, right? If your parents didn't have children, then neither would you. It's proven fact. So if you want to have grandkids, you absolutely have to have kids first. It's just the way it works. So, Kathy, me too. Right, Kathy? I'm going to go with me too. Crystal says yet. So, one of your whys is to not feel like a grandparent to your daughters just yet. Yeah, so Kirby, it's at 200 and, just for fun, I'll log in. Take a guess, how many downloads? It was at 200,000 yesterday? How many do you think it is today, total? It blows my mind, these numbers, I'm telling you. Absolutely blows my mind. So it was at 200 the other day. I think it's, let's see. 212,935 is what it's at right at the moment. 212,935. So for the month of June, 69,829 downloads. May was 75,000. So by tomorrow afternoon, on June 16th. We'll have more downloads in June than we had all of May. Weird. Yep, you were close. 212.9, so 213. So, cool. All right, well, hey, I made it all the way to the bottom of your email. It is 11:13 here on the Eastern time. I got to get the show published behind me, get that rolling. And then I'll get that released. And so I have the artwork already, so you'll see the cartoon from Fred. So go check out Fred. Seriously, if you're not following him on Connect, go follow Fred right now on Connect. The guy's cool. So, yeah, so, okay, a couple quick questions real quick. Jeanette says, when you started, did you feel like you were being deprived? Do you feel like you were being deprived, or did you feel full? I started the same way I started every other time, and so I started with portion control. So I was still eating all the same crap that I ate that made me fat. I was eating less of it. So I wasn't deprived of food. I was deprived of quantity of food, which made me hungry a lot. And then I was able to lose about 40 pounds that way. So because I was not willing to give up some of the things I used to love and crave. So I wasn't deprived because I was still eating the stuff that I liked. Then when I figured out that I couldn't sustain that for life, I slowly started making substitutions and choosing healthier options. And so for me, it was a natural transition. And so that is where the phrase when you're at a point, stop eating points comes from. Because if you do that, if you stop eating points when you're out of points, then you have to figure out a way to get enough food into the day in your point allotment. If you're willing to go negative, you're never truly going to learn how to make the switch in the adjustment. So somewhere in the middle, when I stopped eating points because I was out of points, the next day I woke up and said, okay, I can't do that again. I can't have that food. It doesn't give me enough energy throughout the day. So I naturally started picking things that would give me more energy. And so no, I don't feel deprived at all. I actually feel fantastic, which is really cool. And if you saw my post on Connect, I put a lot on Connect. I apologize today, but it was kind of one of those days. But if you saw my post on Connect where I talked about Applebee's, we went to Applebee's for dinner last night. And so for me, Applebee's was always, a chicken tender basket with French fries and a Coke. And so we went in yesterday afternoon, and the lady, we sat down. And the lady asked what I wanted, and the auto response was water. Without even thinking about it, it was water, because that's a healthy choice I've been making for a year and a half now. And then when it came to order, I didn't even open the menu. I ordered a grilled chicken breast, and so it's 2 points for a grilled chicken breast. I still get the French fries because the French fries are 14 points. I have half of them, so I call it a 7-point fries. And so 7 points of fries, 2 points of chicken breast. Dinner was 9 points. It filled me up. And a point of ketchup, I guess. I had a tablespoon of ketchup in there. But so basically a 10-point dinner from Applebee's. No, I don't feel deprived at all. I automatically chose a healthier food that I've been choosing forever, and I don't miss the grease. And if at all I feel deprived, I was depriving myself of this joy that I have right now. So I'm glad to have that switch and reversal. So great question. Would have been good to put that into an episode, but that's okay. We got it here. So, yeah, Christy, I think so too. It's very, very cool. Yeah, if you guys have not, I'm not plugging Applebee's, but if you've not had the grilled chicken breast from Applebee's, it's 2 points. If you like vegetables, I'm not a big vegetable guy. I eat them a little bit, but if you like vegetables, you can have like a 4-point dinner from Applebee's on a grilled chicken breast, and the thing is fantastic. It's a wood-fired grilled chicken breast. If someone from Applebee's is listening, then yay. Good on you. But that's a good low point dinner at Applebee's. So, and I get that all the time when I go there. So, it really works for me. And it's an automatic choice. I didn't even open the menu. I just ordered it. So. All right. Well, cool. Well, that's all I got tonight. I think I made it all the way to the bottom. Let me just make sure I'm not missing anybody. Nope. Looks like we're good. And then, so I'm going to go ahead and sign off here. Yeah, so Sheila, I saw your comment. Let's go. When I was losing, did I use my weekly or activity points? My weekly points, yes. My activity points, no. When I was losing, some weeks I ate my weeklies, some weeks I did not eat my weeklies. I don't eat my weeklies just for the sake of eating them. If I was hungry, I ate them. If I was not hungry, I didn't eat them. I use my activity points as extra credit in my weight loss. So no, I didn't. I did not eat my activity points, but I sometimes did eat my weekly points, and sometimes I didn't. It really was dependent upon my week and what was going on. So hope that answers your question, Sheila, for there. Yeah, so everyone go to Applebee's, tell them FatDag sent you. I wish there was something in it for me, but it sounds fun, right? So anyway, cool. All right, well, hey, have a good night, all of you. Thank you for being here. I'll end this the way we end everything, is that I wouldn't be on this journey if it wasn't for you. The fact that you believed in me early on, that you got me to goal, that community is what it fuels me. It's what makes me want to give back, and I'm incredibly honored that you've given me this stage and you've given me this platform to continue to talk to each other and to kind of get us all to this healthy spot in life where we deserve to be. So that's going to do it here as well. More than anything, this has nothing to do with luck. Hope is not a plan. Relying on luck is not a plan. It takes discipline. It takes focus. I wish you, with the absolute bottom of my heart, I wish 100%, I wish you can stay focused. I wish you can stay disciplined. I wish you can make your goal weight so that you can step on the scale for the very last time in a weight loss mode and feel what that feels like. It's incredible. So have a good night. Good focus to you.